All right, and we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 104. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very excited about our special guest, and we've got Google Stadia, its effect on Xbox, Sony and Nintendo, Master Chief Collection skips play anywhere, and PS5 ray tracing to discuss. So we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a lady who is not only a great friend and ally to the realm, but whom the ILP is truly honored to have as a supporter in our infancy stages. Whether it be her passionate hot takes on the gaming industry, outstanding news articles, or dedication to playing the games we love, there is no doubt gaming is truly in her blood. Introducing the director and editor-in-chief of RealGamesMedia.com and the host of the RGM podcast, the originator of what truly grinds a gamer's gears, and creator of the funniest Twitter poll, pitting her 4-week-old versus a Division II Dark Zone extraction. Live from Australia and making her triumphant return back into the realm of the Lords, my girl, Lady Bella Ryse. How you doing, sis?
Good evening, gentlemen. Wow, that was quite the introduction. Thank you kindly. It's always an honor to be back at the round table.
Absolute pleasure. Long overdue. I mean, it's been so long. I was looking at the archives. It was probably like episode number 4 of ILP is when you were back. So
it was a long time ago.
Long time ago. Like even during
the thing is that you podcasted about 3 o'clock in the morning for me. So.
First of all, thank you for coming. Actually, you're in the future right now in Australia, so you're a day ahead of us. I am. So thank you.
Let me tell you, it doesn't get any better.
Thank you for coming from the future back to the past to deal with the Lords. What you been playing, Belle?
What's the lotto numbers? What's the lotto numbers, Bella?
King wants the lotto.
Look, I'd like to give that to you, but I just can't alter your life like that, dude.
Oh, damn it, Bella! Alter my life.
I'm already altering my man's life. That's enough.
No doubt. Oh, but good to have you back. And so, what have you been playing? What games have you been playing?
God, a little bit of anything really lately. So obviously, I'll start with the games that I'm playing at the moment. Mm-hmm. The Division 2. Woo! Anybody who knows me knows that I was always going to be on the Division 2. Mm-hmm. Look, it's great. But a lot of the issues that I have with the Division 1 don't exist, which is fantastic. But unfortunately, it's an Ubisoft game, so give it time and they'll break it somehow. And Sekiro, I've been putting a little bit of time into that as well. Not as much as I'd like to because the Dark Zone keeps on calling me back. But yeah, Sekiro is a really interesting game from Software, mm-hmm. where if you are a Dark Souls fan, you really find yourself trying to re-educate your thought process about how you need to attack combat in that game. It is fun. It's dark and dreary, and it's a game of death and destruction, but there's so much compassion, and it's lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm good that you've been still gaming and rocking, and the little one is here, future of the realm with us. So we know if you have to step away, it's totally understandable for a few. It's all good. But before we start the show, I mean, obviously you guys seen the tweet. This is a very difficult day for the Lords. We lost our brother, Lord Whiskey, last night. And it was really tough to do this show. And but I know this is something that he would have wanted. A fellow veteran, combat medic, some of the best cabs in the business, King. You know what I'm saying? One of our E3 brothers. He tries to go to us at all the time, all the events, and just a good person. And I really miss him. I want to send condolences to his family. And this is a tough day for the Lord. So, I mean, we lost a good person. So I want to respect him and honor him today and give it to King and Attic if they want to say any words for our brother, Lord Whiskey.
I like to start off with, a lot of times when somebody passes, we bloviate on, they're a good person. They really wasn't. And, you just say it out of your head. And not Whiskey. Whiskey was a very genuine, good soul. Mm-hmm. Very good person, very approachable, very giving. Like he'll give you his last and won't even look for anything in return. He was the Iron Chef. All right,
Iron Chef. Thanks.
Along with him and Sous Chef Hot Monkey Lovins. These guys made sure that we were well fed with premium food at all times. Like it really didn't matter. These guys were absolutely there to, you know, like help out. And the sad part about it is, just was playing with him the other day. Like we just like got it in on the division, and I was like, yo, when I jumped in, I was like, yo, you know, I see you at E3 because I need my chef.
Facts.
Yeah, we were just playing the division.
You know what's crazy? He loved the division so much because he's from that area. He's from Maryland, so he would travel there. He worked there. You know what I mean? So we playing division. He's like, Cog,
this is really
it's just like this, and oh man,
I'm like, damn, right? Because I'm like, okay, so in your head, we always feel like things are always good with somebody because we're good, and that doesn't mean it's always good with the person. I've told people before, I've dealt with and I deal with depression, not clinical depression, could be, I don't know, that I'm so cheap to go to get real like, you know, help or whatever, but I deal with it because I push on. I make sure I put things in my path to help me get past certain things. But the best thing that you can do is have a base. Listen, us not knowing it, growing up, our Saturdays were therapeutic.
Yes.
Our Saturdays were enlightening because we had family. We bonded. So whatever we were missing, like in our actual families, we made that up as a team, as a group.
Facts.
Right? So these Sundays, that's why I don't miss Sundays. Like I'm here, like, you know, and I'm very eager to be here, to be with my brothers, to show this love, because we all depend on each other and we all lean on each other. And I mean, I wish he would have leaned on me. I wish he would have reached out to me, but it's not about me. It's about him.
Right. And
I love and I respect him. It's just, we don't have Lord Fireball no more.
Oh man, that's the whiskey name. It's so funny. But I'm gonna let Attic speak because Attic, you got a chance to meet him. What is it? E3 2017, I want to say. That was when we all
when the fireball incident happened.
Where he was dubbed Lord Whiskey. That's how you got his name.
Where he golfed an entire, what was a fifth of fireball, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm good," and I'm like, "Yeah," for about 10 minutes, and then 10 minutes later, he's downstairs in the lobby bathroom throwing up.
And we couldn't find him. He went missing. We could not find him, so we panicking like, "Where this dude at?" So we go downstairs, we looking outside like, what the hell? He just disappeared off the planet. So we're in a strange place with our team member missing. Come to find out, he in the bathroom. He locked himself in there. No, I don't want y'all to see me like this. Brother, if you don't open the damn door, and he's like vomiting all over the place, and
bro,
I don't even think he left that day. He stayed there. He threw up the whole day.
Listen, man.
He folded up his E3.
And then afterwards, he comes up and is like, "Okay, maybe that wasn't a good idea."
Oh, yo, shout out to Monkey Punch, who also knows Lord Whiskey with the $15 super chat. Salute to Lord Whiskey. Sorry for your loss, brother. Much respect. Yeah, he was our Destiny brother, a Division brother. Like Attic said, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Attic. Like we all roomed together first E3. You know, and just to see the joy in his face, because this man truly loved video games, man. He was so happy just to finally be a part of it. And I'm sorry, Attic, I'll let you finish the story you were going into.
Yeah, but he was a good dude, man. It kind of caught me by shock when I was told. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Cried all night. You know, I'm still probably gonna cry some more. But Whiskey, salute my brother. You know what I'm saying? I hope you're resting. We love you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this goes out to anybody who is dealing with anything, man. Like I said, don't feel like you're alone. Always reach out. You know what I'm saying? The Lords are here for that. And like a King said, our community suffers from a lot of things, man. And games bring us together. So while y'all dudes are beefing about which console and which platform is better, these are the things that's important. You know what I'm saying? People are losing lives out here. So that's all I got to say. I know when Sov joins in, he'll probably say some more things. But let's get the show going. This is what he would have wanted. You know what I'm saying? And ILP salute to my brother, man. Rest in peace, Lord Whiskey. All right. So, we got the 4 horsemen of gaming, or 3 horsemen until Sov arrives. But my co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the how of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. I've been playing a lot of this Sekiro game. I like a lot. Like, what's funny is the Division 2 came out, and I was all hyped for that. And I still, really want to get down in that game, but after I started, I will say I dropped the game initially. I did drop it because I did more than drop it. I publicly said I was going to drop it because in the other, I played all the Dark Souls, and one thing I didn't like about them was the pairing system. I always thought it was gimmicky. I never really thought it was useful. Besides certain situations, certain bosses are easier to fight with it, but I was like, okay, so I'm playing this game, and I'm like, I was talking to Lord Big Mad John, and I was like, what it feels like they done. He's like, it feels like they were like, okay, AJ don't like pairing, we got something for you, because the whole game is pairing.
Wow. So now are you over? I saw your initial tweet. Are you over the parry situation?
I still think that it feels like the pairing was designed for 1v1s, but most of the time it's 1v4.
Gotcha.
So, like, when 3 or 4 people come in, like, they really want you to go around and kill as many people as you want before the smoke starts. So that's what they really want you to do. And it took me a little bit, because it's like we were saying before the podcast started. If you played the older games, you really have to rewire your brain to play. It's like, that's what I have to say about From Software, is they're one of the few companies that I know that can build a foundation, and they can build another house just like it. But the inside is completely different, but it feels just like the other house.
That's awesome, man. It's good to see everybody getting together with it. So that's good that you're playing it and now loving it. My technical lord will be on the way. But of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, a.k.a. the Excess Gamer. Ooh. The Lord of Combat Sports, who is a man of his convictions, demands nothing less than that premium experience, and is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement. Ooh. Beloved Lord King, how you doing, sir?
As good as I'm going to do. See that statue back there? Now, if y'all listen to King of the Statues, you'll understand that.
I feel like you should have that on for some reason.
Yo, if I can fit that on my head,
it just looks like something. Tell me that it look like something that he would have with the Fraud Alert.
With the Fraud Alert eyes.
I did order one of those lights. The shipping says it's gonna be here like Monday or Tuesday.
Look at you. Who did that for you? Who did that for you?
I bought it, but I did steal it from you. But
I inspired you, brother.
The chat says, King, turn it on.
Let's be real here, Lord King.
The eyes do light up. It does come on. All right, and it does do the right. But the thing about it is, it came broken. It came broken. But that wasn't what I was going to unbox this week. What I was going to unbox this week is over here. That's going to be my first versus series before we go to PAX. So that's going to get up and start videoing and editing this week. But I was playing Division 2.
Okay.
Playing real hard in Division 2. Shout out to Hot Monkey and his boy Black Bart. Black Bart, it's funny as hell. But those dudes are some serious animals. They some serious animals. We was taking down strongholds like they were paper tissue, because these dudes is already at the tier 4, coming with 450 gear, and my little 25-year-old self like and then they hustling, they breaking elites down, and needless to say, I had winning one of their games, tier 4, my little behind. And it was giving me all the gold drops for me, right? Woo! So they were like, they shared it, and it's all 450 stuff. Now, apparently in this game, which I love that Division has done, is this is how it goes. Those first levels to get to 30, that was just the training.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hit 30, the game really opens up.
World tiers, yep.
Right. So okay, so now you're in World Tier 1, and then you get to World Tier 2, and then you're going up levels as like Destiny, like power tiers, right? That is such an ingenious formula that it allows your game to have so much content, and there's so much leveling, there's so much things to do. They've packed this world. Well, whatever we complained about the first game, shut up now. Shut up now. You asked for it.
Dude, I didn't even play it that long, and I honestly have to say that Ubisoft is king publishers and developers this gen. Like I can't front. They're like, okay, they're not like other studios. Like we just gonna abandon ship. They're like, no, we gonna bring more people and we gonna fix it.
Like, you complain about it a few weeks. Bella, you lacking confidence in it, Bella?
I mean, it's got Ubisoft stamped on it. It's great now.
She's waiting for the first rate. I believe they're gonna knock it out the park. I believe so. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I have to agree with her on that. I gotta see that raid, but then I gotta grind to see that raid, so I got to get on that.
But I'm there. But that's what I've been playing. I think I played something else, but nothing memorable, I guess.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I did that Dream Daddy thing, so you might want to make sure people know I did that. So.
Yo, shout out to Cat Daddy Fat Stacks on Patreon, who made Lord Addict do the Dream Daddy challenge. Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, even if y'all don't watch this whole video, King, you gotta watch the first 30 seconds with the intro to the song of that game and watch Addict's face. Like that joy is hilarious. So please, it's on Addict. It's on your channel, right?
Yeah,
it's on the Gaming Addict channel. Please check it out. Dream Daddy challenge. Lord Addict, the man of his word, he did it. Cat Daddy put him through the fire. And if you want to laugh, watch the first 30 seconds and you will erupt in tears. I promise you. Continue, kid.
Yeah, no, that's about it. I don't know what else I was playing other than that Division. That's the only thing that's like worthy. But I did get the chance to game with my fellow Lord for the last time.
Yes, sir.
And we had a good time.
No doubt. You already know. And of course, we have the Lord of the Cooperative Game Experience and Gaming Ninja himself, the Shinobi, LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP, not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So yeah, man, not much gaming, obviously, with the news that happened, but like King said, I got a chance to play with my brother in Division 2, hit the streets, of DC, and just hear him tell me all the landmarks and all the stuff that he was working on and stuff like that. So that was cool. I did a little bit of Destiny 2 Invitation of the 9. Started Sekiro, but I mean, literally, I can't even talk about it. I'm like the first 10, 15 minutes into the game before I had to go to bed. So it's downloaded. Today is the day that I actually get to Blaze later on tonight. So that's what I'm doing.
I still want to see you stream that game.
Yeah, I know you want to see pain.
Oh, I want to see it so bad because it's not only. I still think because it's your first Dark Souls type game that you're gonna have a better chance of going. Because I ain't going. I stopped streaming.
Yeah. First ever.
He's not played any Dark Souls?
None of them. Nope. Nothing like that gameplay. Like, let me tell you how bad that it was bad for me at first. Like, I stopped streaming the game because I was holding so many L's. Like, I was like, man, I restarted the game 3 times because I was like, man, like I couldn't get the parrying system down. But I think since you don't have to, because you literally have to rewire your brain. When you feel like going left, they're like, no, we gave this dude an ability this time where he's just gonna grab you when you try to do that stuff you used to do.
Yeah, man. Listen, no, here's the thing, Bella. It's like I have respect for the franchise and I know they're great games. I just knew the original ones were not for me. And I had this conversation with Ibantis last night. I never really liked the drab kind of aesthetics and story of the Souls games. It just didn't captivate me. But
you care about your sanity. I understand and respect
that. Number one, right? Because I didn't want to break any controllers. I got enough controllers here. I don't need to be breaking anymore.
Yeah, shout out to Kid Smoothie broken Elite controller playing.
I'm hearing Elites are getting broken. I'm hearing PlayStation controllers are getting broken. I don't need any broken controllers. However, I am the gaming ninja, the Shinobi. So when I saw feudal Japan,
they did a good job on that.
And then I saw a traversal with a grappling hook, and I saw stealth like Tenchu. Then I'm like, okay, I'm in it. And then I watched Ibantis last night on his stream, and it had a little bit of the Bushido blade sword play, and I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to struggle. I know I'm probably not going to last too long on this, but at least I'll give this one a shot because it's more. It speaks more to me in the feudal Japan.
The thing with games like this is, if you have patience and you don't get greedy, you're gonna have a good time with it.
You can win every time, man. But that's the problem. I'm a greedy person.
I'm
a greedy person.
I saw every last thing that you saw, and then I saw it said From Software, and that said From the Bushes.
Why is it the bushes?
Let me tell you something. Okay, when a developer purposely goes out, they set up shop in a difficult zone. And they say, we care not about you casual dudes. We want you to suffer. They are sadists and masters of the craft.
Out of curiosity, don't you always put the older generations games on a pedestal and they're all hard like that?
No. No, I don't.
You guys are always saying, look at this game I played from back in the day. This game, it was hard, man.
Yeah, listen, Addict. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I always give you your respect. When we played that Sin game, it looked beautiful. It looked beautiful. I said, I would love to be about that game. And then it taught me right there, 5 seconds into the game, it taught me I'm not about this game. Like certain you are
the knee king.
Yo, my knee is bent. My knee was when I saw From Software. I was like, damn it! Like the game looked like something you can get down with. Listen,
you just gotta get good.
There's no getting good. Either you got it or you don't. Like you understand what I'm saying? Either you can dance or you can't. Some people try to dance, but they can't dance.
What I can respect about Lord King is he's not like some of these people that he just doesn't like the game, so he says the game's trash. No, like at least he says, look. It looks good. It's just not my type of game.
That's one game I'm gonna watch. YouTube
his limitations. He's gaming within them.
Yeah, Bella. What you say, Bella?
He's acknowledging his limitations and he's gaming within them.
Yes.
I don't know. I have a problem with punishment. Like
I know you like it. SMN.
Oh my god.
That's you.
SMN. Like I'm sitting there. Like when I jumped off a cliff on accident and it didn't penalize me. In older Dark Souls, any of those Dark Souls games, you fall off a cliff, it's GG. You have to start over back from the last checkpoint.
Yeah,
it spawns me back up on this one with like 10% less health, and it's like, oh, you don't die, you just lose a little bit of health. I was like, that's not cool. I want to die if I fall off a mountain.
You see this? You see this? They taught you how to like it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be taught how to like abuse. So what I'll do is I'm gonna watch people streams. Like I watched Kid yesterday. I was like, ooh, let me see. I was part of that 8,000 crew that wanted to see him bash his face against the wall.
There was 800 people watching that full play.
Him busting up controllers. I said, there it is. There it is. I said, that's exactly why. No, I'm not doing that. Yeah. No.
It really isn't that hard. If, like I said before, if you've got patience and you don't get greedy. And I played through Dark Souls.
Does this look like a man who has patience and not greedy? Does this look like a man that's not greedy? I'm greedy.
Is this your king?
Hell. You see this? This is greed. This is all greed. This is all greed.
No, that's all greed.
No, that's not. That game is definitely not for me.
The mentality that you need in these kind of games is, okay, 2 hits is enough. That's not me. Like, I get myself killed so many times. Like, okay, I got 2. I think I can sneak 4. Then they just slap me. Okay, maybe 2 next time. That's the
thing. You got to learn the pattern. And once you learn the pattern, you got to stick within the pattern. If you don't stick within the pattern, you're going to have a bad time of things, okay?
I'm patternless.
I fought a boss on here, and the only openings of attack I had was just a grappling hook attack. That's literally all I could find an opening with, and I sat with that dude for almost an hour fighting him with that one move.
Remember, Cognito, I told you my son and I watched Addict play that game on PlayStation, and my son was enamored with his skill. That's at that point where you Michael Jordan and somebody looking at LeBron, and your son is looking at LeBron. Your son is like, "Oh, LeBron is nice." You man, shut up. LeBron ain't nice. Shut up. Like, and I'm looking. I'm like, yeah, Addict is nice. That's the day I had to bend the knee to him when my son was like, yeah, he's good.
Yep. Absolutely. Wow. We're gonna get into it. So now we get the what the Lords have been playing, and even though Lady Bella, she's been here, she's been given the royal treatment a few times. Check ILP number 4 and ILP number 12, respectively. But she wasn't around for the debut of the ILP top 5. So, Lady Bella, I need your top video games or franchises of all time. No pressure.
Of all time. Okay, so obviously Zelda Ocarina of Time is always going to be on that list.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 15.
15?
Ew.
Final Fantasy 15. None of this turn-based shit.
He said ill language.
Nah, I don't mind 15. I was just disappointed.
All right. 15.
What were you disappointed in?
We don't even have enough time for that.
With him at it.
We don't even have enough time for that. We can talk about that after the podcast.
Okay.
But it's not as bad as 13. 13 was utter bad. Like it was. I couldn't. 13 is the only Final Fantasy game I've never beat.
Lady Bella, Final Fantasy 15. That's on your list. We got it. Zelda. Give me 3. Give me 4 more. I mean, actually 3 more.
Look, I'm going to put Horizon Zero Dawn up on there just because of the depth of the storytelling in that game. The floor just continued to get dropped out from underneath you as you played through that and realized the depth of the lore and the history that they had created.
They definitely hit they hit that out of the park.
Yeah, I mean, there were many aspects of that game that I didn't like, but I would put that up there purely because of how they basically taught the gaming industry how to tell a story again. It was epic.
All right, Horizon Zero Dawn. All right, so we got Zelda. We got Horizon Zero Dawn. No, this is a unique list. I love it. Final Fantasy 15. So we need 2 more. Change your life. What again? These are franchises that are important to you. 2 more.
Even though we did just discuss Dark Souls, but I am going to put that up there because that is a game changer.
Souls franchise.
That franchise taught me how to be a better gamer. Taught me the importance of checking every corner and not taking anything for granted.
Low key, I think you're going at me. Low key, I really think you're going at me. But I'm not that good, so I ain't gonna worry about that. Keep going.
Not everything's about you.
I know. Tell him about it.
Hey, remember, Bella. Look at his background. Everything's about him.
No, only in my world. That's it.
All right. The last one. That's a really difficult on the spot one. If you've got time for reflection, you can really think about it. But
maybe one from platforms. Change your life. Had a special place in your heart for just you.
Somebody kept putting in Gears, Bella. Gears, Bella.
No, you know what? Gears is a great franchise, but it's not. Didn't revolutionize my gaming.
Really like Call of Duty at one point?
I'm sorry, Call of what?
Didn't you really enjoy Call of Duty at one point?
You was like Call of what?
She said who?
No, for some reason I felt like the last time she was on ILP, we argued about one game. We did.
And
I thought that was Call of Duty. That's why I asked.
It is, and here's the thing about Call of Duty. I actually grew up and became an adult and moved on and matured my gaming preferences. Learned how to play something with a little bit of depth and meaning
instead of just running around like an adrenaline junkie shooting people.
Oh
yeah, pretty much.
Don't start because you know how you two do.
No. I'm on Bella's side right now.
Okay. I know you guys get
Call of Duty or for scrubs.
One more. Come on.
Let her get her list.
Something that changed your life, or just
something that you like.
It wasn't your personal favorite.
Well, it's one slot. It was Dream Daddy. Slot left.
One slot.
Out of all the video games that I've played in my life, I've got one slot left to fill. That's a really difficult task.
You can put a placeholder, and when you come back, you can always change. I always give the options to our guest that.
I don't like this.
Pressure.
All right.
Come on, Bells. Come on. I expect better from you, Bells. You got so many games on tap. Come on.
And that's the problem. You're asking me to bring it down to one.
So just pick one.
We're gonna say the Superman game for the N64. There you go.
You did.
Destiny, that's it. We picked it. Let's go.
Look, I tell you, Destiny's up there. It's one of the ones I'm tossing around at the moment. As you know what? For the interest of putting something on the list, let's go with Destiny because that's where I met the love of my life. That game has a special place in my heart. So let's go with Destiny.
Look at that. Destiny making families. That's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
It really did. It really did because I've been
bringing people together. That's awesome, Bells.
When you come back, baby, because of Destiny.
There you go. When you come back again, if we need to revise it, it's no problem. So we're gonna get into last week's poll and start the show. Last week's poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question with the latest rumors regarding Google's potential upcoming console announcement at GDC. How seriously do you take Google as a threat in the next generation console wars? The winner at 42% in a fairly close three-way ILP vote is the I'm sold. Google's partners, bank, and aggressiveness automatically make them a threat. Coming in at second, very close, were our shallow voters at 32%. Was the I don't care, okay, Google and Google Plus got to get out the bushes first group.
Thank you.
And in last place at 26% was the I'm not sold, Project Stream, and Google will not win without games. Thanks to all the lords who participated in last week's poll. Actually, I see Madz Gaming in the building. Lord Madz, are we in the building, sir?
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up, man? What's going on?
Nice to be back. Nice to be back.
Good. Jay Fonzarelli calling us Fugals right now. He's out of here. Lord Madz, I'll bring it to you and Bell. What do you guys feel about do you agree with the poll that people feel that that Google will be a threat?
Why don't you go first, Madz, since you just joined?
Yeah. Madz?
Yeah, I should go. Well, I mean, well, potentially, because like I think that Google is kind of aiming at a bit different consumer base because basically, like, I don't think that, I mean, like, you know, hardcore gamers or people who are kind of got used to like playing on a local hardware just going to throw out all their consoles and PC to the bushes, right? That's not going to happen, right? And so, but the thing is, like, I think that's, all these, and that's not only about Google. All these streaming services will be aimed at completely different, people, completely different, demographics, completely different people. Like, if I look at my son, for example, he's like 6 years old. I mean, he grew up with, not necessarily playing games on like, he's growing up actually still, not with like, consoles and stuff. He's basically using his a tablet all the time, right? And guess what's going to happen when Google's going to launch this streaming service and listen, they've got Google, they've got YouTube on their side. Like, listen, the amount.
Save that thought, Madz, because that's going to be the first time. I know you're about to go in. I can hear it. You're going to go in.
Okay. So all I want to say that if think about the fact that they've got YouTube on their side, and also they are the biggest search engine in the world. So it will be a threat.
All right. So you feel like Lady Bella, do you agree with the poll that Google should be considered a threat?
Well, look, my knee-jerk reaction to the whole thing is the more the merrier. What have we got to lose from there being more competition in the market? More competition creates lower prices, creates better services, etc., etc. The only problem that I have with it all is how many subscriptions do I have to have? How many things do I have to be signed up for to make sure that I'm getting all of my games that I need? At the end of the day, I'm probably just going to look at it and say, well, that's great, but are you giving me the value that the Game Pass is giving me? Because if you're not giving me more value than the Game Pass, I'm not interested.
That's right.
I hear the valid points. We're going to get into it, man. I was hoping Saul could get in.
He's here.
Wait, Saul's in the building?
He's right
in
there.
The building. I'm right here.
He snuck in the back door when you weren't looking.
I saw him. He slid
Power
in.
105. You hear me okay?
Oh,
Boom,
yeah.
boom.
Good. Smooth, baby. Quiet storm. Oh, Saul's in the building, bro. First off, man, thank you guys. You could make it. And I know, like I said, we briefly said some things for Whiskey. I don't know if you wanted to say anything real quick before you started, and then we'll get into the show.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, what's up, Madz? What's up, Bella? Good to see you guys. Um, yeah, honestly, once Cog told me, it really it destroyed me, man, because we all know what this community means to all of us, and for a lot of us,
Mhm.
it's a refuge. It really is. From whatever our realities are on a day-to-day basis.
Mhm.
Um, and Whiskey, man, I got to meet him at E3 2016. It was the only time I got to meet him.
Mhm. You and Kabatsu?
Right, in Kaibatsu, and I think that was the year that not all of us were able to get into to FanFest.
Correct.
So yeah, so Whiskey was walking around with us, showing us the ropes, showing us stuff in the convention center. So what I got from him was that he was a very genuine person, like a very kind dude, always willing to help, always a smile on his face, loved being there. Like that was being at E3 was like that. He loved every instance of it, every moment of it.
Mhm.
And of course, I'm sure somebody told the Fireball story.
The Fireball story was told.
Yeah, I mean that was something else. Everybody was like, "Where's Whiskey? Where's Whiskey?" And then
that's his name was coined.
Oh my Lord! And then, oh man, I don't even want to talk about how that lobby bathroom looked. But I mean, we're gonna miss you, bro. I wish you were here. And be honest, man, I just a message on his behalf to everyone in the community. Do not ever keep anything to yourself. All jokes aside, everything that we talk about, we laugh, we joke, console war stuff, that means nothing. Nothing. Guys, we're all here for each other. We all love the same thing.
Facts.
And I notice anytime anybody puts anything up on Twitter that's a real world issue that they're having problems with, people flock with kind words and so I know that all that support, all that love exists in this community.
Facts.
So if you're ever feeling like you're alone, you never are. You absolutely never are. And I just really wish, man. I just really wish we could have done more, man. But I wish you were here, Whiskey, man.
Yeah, bro.
Rest in peace, brother, man.
Rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace, brother. God, great words, soft. And yeah, man, cried. I'm gonna cry some more.
Oh man.
Like I said, we miss him, bro. We definitely miss him. So look, let's get the show going because this is what he would have wanted.
Of course.
He's tuned in to us every Sunday. He was in that chat. He always game with us.
I mean that's one thing. And you know how we are, and I'm the type of person. If Cog vouches for you, if King vouches for you, if Kai vouches for your family, there's no second thinking, there's no thought. Your family, that's it.
That's it.
And it's just heartbroken today. It's no other way to put it.
No doubt. All right, man. Let's celebrate some life and have some fun. And that's what he wants. So we got the poll out the way. Sov, you're actually right on time because I was going to lead off your topic.
Oh,
yeah, you're right on time, man. So obviously the gaming news has been shaken. There's a new challenger has appeared.
A new challenger has arrived.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it to you, Sov. What's going on with this Stadia? What's going on, bro?
Right. So yeah, this past week, Google finally unveiled their vision for the future of video games, and Project Stream is now Google Stadia. And for a second, before I get into that, how the knees doing? How the knees? There's six sets of knees right now that are very ashy. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Everything has been honored. Who else did? I didn't go against the Sov, did I?
Yes, you did.
I went against the Sov.
Everyone went against the Sovstradamus.
Listen, Sov. I was gonna pull a BS and tell you the caveat. They showed a controller that's hardware.
But I did. Well, hold up. I said that specific thing. I did say that specific thing.
I'm taking those knees. Those knees are official.
Because I'm fighting the knees.
I appreciate that, King, because there was no official bend the knee. We just
God, get them knees ready, boy. Let's go. Yo, Addict, turn that camera on. Addict, go next to the window and get them knees.
He said there would be no console. He said there would be no console. It was him and Cognito versus us two.
No, hold up. I know COD.
Go back and
changed
look.
up.
Yeah, he switched.
He's right.
COD
No,
switched.
he's right. He's right. I did say there would be a console. I'm a
Yeah,
man.
he switched. Yeah.
It was Addict that switched to the
No,
losing team at the last minute.
No.
It was Addict that switched. See, the brother did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank you, much appreciated.
You got it live. Leave me alone.
Yo, you know what's crazy about the knees? That shit really hurt. I've never been on no knees down here, man. I'm not doing that.
Oh,
I can't lose no more. That shit hurt.
I know you all getting back up off that.
I guess I'll do it too. All right, there you go.
Thank you.
Addict, man, you almost had it, man. You switched to the losing team at the last second. I don't know why
I let King's foolishness convince me.
No, you know what? I cannot wait to go in on this topic, Addict. You're gonna be happy that you gave those knees away. You're gonna be happy. This is gonna be the best knees you ever lost. This is gonna be it today.
Solve this defeated me. I don't like this. I don't like this feeling.
No, I really feel like it was me and King versus you two. Like I remember thinking that we were split down the middle.
I thought for sure they would have a console. He's right. They didn't, and that surprised me. But let's get into it. Solve this. Let's go.
All right, so let's get into it. So Stadia is basically an evolution of the beta they had with Project Stream. It is an online gaming service that sort of leverages the Google space to the YouTube space to sort of integrate streaming and gaming into sort of this one thing under one umbrella. And they touted some crazy numbers. They said at the core, the Google instance, which is basically the same as a Blade, a Stadia instance, is about 10.7 teraflops of graphical power, basically outpacing the Xbox One X.
I know, basically outpacing the Pro
everything else.
And the X stacked together. Like if you put them together
right.
and made
one
a
on top of the other,
they still outpaced them by 2 milliseconds of flop. So I just want you to hurry up and pass this over so I can bust this topic.
No doubt.
I've never seen King so absolutely indignant. Like he refused to accept this as a reality. I've never seen him
you see, you know what it is
on the defensive like this. No,
you think it's something and it's something else. I'm gonna show you what it is though. But you think, and I'm so happy Madz is here. What? I'm so happy that Jay-Z from Poland is up in the building because we're about to shock this podcast to life. Because a lot of you guys is out there sleepwalking with the zombie face, and we're about to wake your behinds up. It's on today.
I don't know how your thoughts of it have evolved since the announce, but I know at the announce
it's the same thoughts. It's the same thoughts.
Continue, so.
So basically, beyond that, so the service is set to launch later on this year in the US, most of the UK, and most big markets. And there's a lot of questions behind it because they're touting a lot of power. They're talking about at launch, in ideal situations, the service will be able to stream games at 4K 60 frames per second with HDR capabilities, which is a huge leap over what anybody who was in that beta
how can you
was
set
able.
up a topic? Just set the topic up and let it go, and then we do it.
No,
then you talk about your topic at the end. You can't sit there and you sit there.
He's so thirsty. He wants to go.
Don't sit there and give your whole rebuttal ahead of time.
I'm giving the details of the
narrative. He's steering you.
It's not about
He's steering you.
Everybody in the chat.
Lord King, are you saying he's Jehovah Witnessing this stuff right now?
Yo, he's steering you down the aisle.
I just want everybody in the chat to notice. I want everybody in the chat to notice how antsy King is. He is so antsy.
Let King go first. Let's let King go first.
You know why? Because everybody in this chat know what happened last week. Everybody saw it.
All right, hold on.
All right, you know what? Let's do that. Let's let King Blovate, please.
Thank you so much. So everybody sat there and got a chance to watch that crap that was on TV, right? Now I want to shout out, put your hands up for everybody that fell asleep All right. So I had to rewatch that crap. Old dude came out with the fake Phil, Skrill Phil came out. All right. You know, it's so many
Did
thoughts.
you just call that man Fake Phil?
Yes, fake Phil.
They
You know what? They had to get a Phil name to put up there to give some type of legitimacy to it. So what they did was they picked this dude, right? Because he goes around and he does his little Smurf tactics at different companies. So he goes from Microsoft and he goes from Sony. So he got clout. Oh, so you heard the dude on stage say, "I know nothing about games."
that was the head guy.
That was a straight up part.
That is kind of weird. Like, why would you have someone that doesn't know anything about he's just demonstrating?
Why are you here? But this guy knows the difference between an RPG and an NPC. Let me get off the stage and let this dude with the red clown shoes come out here.
Why you gotta have red clown shoes?
Didn't he have them on?
I feel like the shoes he was wearing is irrelevant to the information.
It was a distraction.
It
was a distraction, my friend. Let me tell you how we do it in New York.
I feel like you're trying to detour.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. He detoured you. He was doing the magic trick the whole time. Oh. Now, one time did you see a game? Now, one time did you hear any real specs? They gave you specs of the server, but that ain't going to you. That's gonna be divided between everybody. So all that you sitting there talking about, you might get a game that has less power than the Switch. It's not necessary for you to have. It's not necessary. It's not necessary for you to have 10 teraflops in a certain game, right? So you will get exactly what you're allocated for that game. All right. So you don't have any hardware, so there's nothing to nail that down. They're going to start nailing down latency. They're going to start nailing down stuff. But the first way to trick your behind into something is to not give you price, not to give you date, not to give you games. They actually showed you absolutely nothing but a slide reel and controllers.
With the $2 super chat. He said, "Get him, King." They ain't loving you right now. They like
so sick and tired of people falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You fell for the banana in the tailpipe. And then your guys out here talking this crap like, oh, Microsoft is in trouble. Yo, my topic is going to directly challenge that conversation. But also, you're sitting here acting like Microsoft is the only guys out here fighting. They're not the only guys out here fighting. Now, are they a legitimate threat? Yes, they are. Okay,
the $1 super chat. They would get you on, King. They like talk.
This is the reason why they're a legitimate threat. Before then, we had On Live. Me and Sovereign played On Live. We had a good time with it. It fell off because it had different issues with it that we were new to the streaming thing. All right, I'm not telling people that this is not real. I'm telling you it's fake in the sense that it's going to do exactly what they're saying initially. If you looked at the sign, it says up to 4K. It didn't say 4K, up to 4K. But then also, what happens now with your whole dependency on your megabits and your connection?
True.
All right. So we're gonna have to get into the price format. They're not gonna tell you price because they don't want to tell you $59.95 a month. Not for you. You guys out here think you're trendsetters.
He does got a point there. They didn't go into price at all.
If they start charging you on a per game basis, they're already in the bushes. Like I don't even think, honestly, I don't think that's in the talkings over there. That would be the dumbest.
Subscription based.
It's a subscription. Obviously it is.
But how much?
If you don't stand for something, you frugal for anything.
Let's go around right now. How much do you think the subscription base would be? Like if you were to put if you were a betting man and gun to the head, how much would you say they would charge a month?
I don't know, bro. Let me get first of all
10 to 15.
Yeah, let's get Bella and then let's get Madz. Bella, the Google Stadia announcement. Did you get a chance to watch it and everything that was revealed?
Yeah, look, I've obviously got myself up to date on what's going on with it. And frankly, if you come at me with, hey, we got 4K 60 FPS, you're not impressed with me. I'm like, you damn well better have it because that is the baseline now. That isn't anything that you can use as a to impress people to go, oh, wow, you got 4K and 60 FPS and teraflops. Teraflops was a huge thing about 4 years ago when Microsoft started throwing the word around. Back then, teraflops meant something. Right now, it's just it's a gimmick word. So I I'm not going to get worked up about it. I don't need high blood pressure. The king is going to cover for that one. But in the meantime, I think, you know what? It's another service. Let's see what you can do. It's going to bring more competition. Like I was saying before, it's going to bring more competition to the market. So be it.
No doubt. Shout out to Dizzy with the $5 super chat. Dizzy, fight the good fight against the Fugals.
It just, you know what it is? Honestly, like a lot of the pushback on this, it sounds like a bunch of scared old men. Like, it really does. It really does. It honestly, no, and no insults to anybody, but that's what it sounds like. It's like,
listen, I'm old, and I definitely hear what you're saying, sir. But I also want you to remember, we have been down this road together. Together, we have walked
a decade ago, King. That was a decade ago.
No, and this is what I'm telling you. This is why I'm telling you we're able to see with our clear eyes, bruh. We still got 20/20s, so I want you to put these pupils to work, and I want you to look at it. I want you to strip it away, not what you want it to be, exactly what it is. Right now, exactly what he told you. I want you to be honest from me. What the hell did you really take away from that?
What I just finished saying that. In that beta, that it got nowhere near any 4K 60, and obviously they said they capped it, right? It was the point of it wasn't to do that, right? But my thing is this: we're at a point in media where anything you say, if you're lying, it comes back to you at the drop of a hat. There's no big turnaround where people have to figure out if you're lying. If you're lying, or even if you come off the least bit suspect, the internet's gonna jump on you, right? So my thing is, you're Google. You're coming out here and you're making all of these statements. They have to be true. They have to, you know what I'm saying? And it can't all be. And then everybody's getting in on this at the same time. They can't all be wrong.
I asked you one question. What the hell did you really take from this? I didn't ask you what you thought. What did you really
took from it?
Your credit card. This is your credit card now.
Right.
Your credit card is up. This is it. So they said at the end of this show, if they told you at the end of the show, you had to, all right, get down and lay down, right?
Right.
Are you putting your credit card on the table right now without knowing anything?
Without just what they told me.
What they showed you.
Wait,
I'm in.
Now, let's get full disclosure, right? Because I don't think you give yourself enough credit. You actually were in the Project Stream beta last year.
Right. So I played all of that experience
last year with Assassin's Creed.
Like I said, my experience was nowhere near any 4K 60. They maxed it. They maxed it at 1080 60, and in ideal situations, late at night or early in the morning, I hit that. In the middle of the day, I'd get less than that. I get 30. Because it's just a lot of people on, and there's a hell of a lot more people on. So like I said, like the fact it really did surprise me when they said, yeah, we're gonna hit 4K 60.
Right
now, you know the way algorithms work. Yeah, they're constantly tweaking them. They're constantly improving them. My thing is, if you make a statement like that, and you know you can't get anywhere near that, that can fold your entire thing,
brother. They said up to
for you. How low did it get for you as far as the resolution? That's what yours wants to know.
Resolution. I think it stayed at 1080 pretty much the entire time, except when there were moments when there'd be artifacting and it blur out, then it come right back.
Right. So about what phrase would you get? Would you get between 30, 60? What were you getting?
It would be like in the as lowest points like 1080 30.
Just out of curiosity, what kind of internet connection you have?
Yeah, what's the connection? You tell him
the best. He got the best.
I have 300 megabits up and down.
Yeah, see, like your average person ain't gonna have that kind of internet.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's true. Look, let's get Addict in because I know he ain't got a lot of time. Then we get Madz. So Addict, like you saw the whole Stadia reveal. You know what I'm saying? So like, what's your take on it? What's your feel and the impressions on it?
I have to agree with Madz. I think that their demographic they're targeting, they're targeting that everyday Call of Duty person. I don't think Call of Duty is really going to be a key issue, but I think they're targeting people who play Madden every year, people who play 2K every year. Like they're trying to eat that up. You know, they're going to probably market this as you don't have to buy a console next gen. All you have to do is just get on our service and play the 2 games you play a year.
I think the
that
YouTube
$500
integration is
that
huge.
you would have spent on that Xbox is going to be trapped down automatically off the rip on that card when you put it in because you didn't pay for a console. So give us the $500 towards these games. That's exactly what's going to happen first.
What you think the subscription and cost of entry is going to be super
$69 a month.
Wow.
Watch. Because they just told you can watch a YouTube video and click on it, play now.
I feel like that's absurd. I feel like that's unrealistic.
Exactly. But you know what's unrealistic?
So why is that unrealistic? Why is that
$60 a month for a subscription?
Oh yeah, the money. Yeah, I thought you meant the clicking on the video part. No, the money part is
realistic. That's unrealistic.
Call of Duty with that latency.
I don't know what he's saying.
Addict, he said Call of Duty with that latency. How it's going to be possible, Addict?
I just don't think at the moment now. That's what I said. I don't think that's going to be something people are going to get the subscription service. That's why I went to Madden 2K.
Got you. So you talk about those type of games as opposed.
To when I brought up Call of Duty, it was just to give like one of the biggest casual games out there.
Okay, I feel you. Let me get Lord Madz in here. Lord Madz, the technical gaming. What did you feel about Stadia's presentation?
Okay, well, obviously we haven't seen any games and stuff on the stage. Well, apart from, we know that only 2 has been confirmed so far. So that was a disappointing thing. But from technical point of view, I would say that it was pretty interesting show, right? Because I get that people find it boring because, as I said, for most gamers, games what really matters, right? And there was no games there really, apart from a couple of technical demos, which doesn't really tell you much, to be honest with you. So I actually I personally found it pretty interesting. And obviously I even wrote the bloody article about the Stadia console being more powerful than Xbox One X, right?
Where did you write that article, sir?
At Lords of Gaming, but yeah,
and I do want to mention
check that out.
They didn't really show any did they show any multiplayer games at all being this demonstrated on
Doom Eternal, right?
They were talking about it only, not.
And I don't think they really showed any on-screen action either.
Yeah. Shout out to Fonzarelli with the $2 super chat. Some of y'all on that Google dust.
Fonz, you sounding scared like
you're the one on the Google dust because
they call you a scared old man.
You sounding scared, Fonz.
That is the promise of new games on the ready for nothing. You see, even Game Pass is not telling you date and day these games is coming out. Right. So if you're watching YouTube, because these dudes want to, they're trying to take over Twitch. They want to push Twitch to the side. They want to push mixers to the side. They want you to primarily game, upload, and click, and they want you to do everything on one hub. They want you to be your one-stop media center. They want you to be your best stadium. You understand? Everybody, they can line up, and you can have people that's on your stream line up and.
You know what it feels like? A lot of the reaction to this feels like how when Xbox got into the game business and they were like the computer people are making a gaming console. Nah, get out of here. You're not doing that.
But it's not the same. It's not the same. I'm seeing the banana in the tailpipe, and I'm telling you, the price wise, this is where the BS when he said no price. No abstract price, then no games. They telling you they showed you an outside of a car with no engine, no wheels. They said you're gonna purchase this, and when you're ready next year, you're gonna understand. We're gonna let you know really what's going on inside of this.
You know what? Let me be a devil's advocate here, because I must give them to them. I must give it to them because GDC is not really an event where you talk about games.
I'm about to go there, Val. You stole my. Let me jump in. Because
they did say shortly after the event that they will be showing games and talking about the whole service pricing and stuff shortly. They said summer of this year, so. E3 pretty much, right? Yeah. So I think that GDC wasn't really the place to, because that's why they focus so much on the technical aspects, the demos and stuff, right? This reminds me of PlayStation 4 first announcement without any specifics
with Cerny.
exactly.
Remember?
I mean, there was no games.
4K,
Yeah.
there was no games. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing we had with Digital Foundry. We revealed the Scorpio. It was them talking about all the teraflops and the technical performance, but no games. So again, let me jump in. Here's the thing. All hail our scroll overhead Lord leader, Phil Luminous.
Not Dominus Luminous.
He has successfully infiltrated both Microsoft and Sony executive positions over the years. He's stolen the secret documents to create his own cloud infrastructure. Google Stadia. All hail Phil Luminous, our favorite scroll in gaming.
Luminous. He's got mushrooms on y'all.
All jokes aside, look, man. I thought from all the tech perspective, like it was super impressive. From just a technical standpoint, right? No downloads, full YouTube integration with the streaming community. Crowd play allow you to queue up in the same instance to play against your favorite streamer. They're talking about cross play and cross progression. I low-key didn't like the state share thing or the Google Assistant that help me Howard button they got going on, where you could kind of jump in someone's game and help them out or whatever. That was a little too much for me. But the scalable cloud compute tech, they talking about 4K 60 with HDR by launch, 2019 release before xCloud. So that was a little wild moment because I didn't think they'd jump out the gate that hard and fast. Now for the games part, I get it, King. You know what I'm saying? Like there was nothing really to show besides the Doom Eternal and the Assassin's Creed. But like go ahead, Addict.
I do feel like that they should have demonstrated more different variety of games.
I agree. But we got to remember, like, this is GDC.
But it is to demonstrate that service, and if you're not demonstrating that service with the type of games that you'd be playing on that service, like I don't really care about their exclusive games. Obviously, you're not going to announce stuff like that at GDC. Right. But I do feel like they should thoroughly show you how the service would work, even on screen or off screen.
They did show too. They showed the Assassin's Creed Odyssey and they showed the Doom Eternal. Now look, I get it.
Stuff was playable.
And it was playable on the thing. So here's the thing, look, it's Game Developers Conference. If you come in here expecting game trailers to be revealed, you're gonna be disappointed. Like this is more to get the devs in tune with the functionality and potential of the tech. Now the name and logo, the Stadia was a little weird. I wasn't really feeling that part. But I thought the conference from a pure presentation standpoint was strong. That's all I'm saying. From a presentation, it's going to appeal. They're looking like they're trying to appeal to the mobile market or them casual gamers who never are going to invest in a traditional console. Now, this is where I agree with King. So many questions unanswered. Will it really work, right? So far, the testing has been a mixed bag. You know what I'm saying? Digital Foundry has said that they've played it, they tested it. The latency is rivaling that of a local Xbox One X. You know what I'm saying? But then I saw some footage of people playing Doom Eternal, and it looks sus. It looks sus with the fast twitch. It didn't move quick. You know what I'm saying? What's the cost? Like King saying, is it subscription based? How do they address people with data caps? You know what I'm saying? Are they going to be doing ISP partnerships?
Would you feel like at something like GDC, like price would be an appropriate thing to talk about?
I can't say,
because I feel like that's the biggest key point.
It's
like
the
I feel like
point.
GDC is mainly just used to demonstrate what that service does, not what it costs, not what's on it, just to show you the example of what it can do.
That's why I left it alone. And then he did have an interview with Jason Schreier. Phil Harrison did have an interview with Jason Schreier from Kotaku, and they kept saying summer, which I'm gonna agree with Madz. I'm gonna assume that is E3, right? But here's the thing: we still got so many questions, right? We got, the Google Fiber, is that going to be able to reach? We have the whole issue with net neutrality. We got 5G on the horizon. Do they plan on
the muffled cock?
What happened? I'm sorry, the muffled?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me now? Better?
Yeah.
All right. So we got all that going on. And then the main important thing is the Google track record. Like, will they stick with it if it go left? They've got a notorious history sometimes of if things don't pop off, they're out. So to me, the way I look at it is this. It's either going to be the streaming equivalent of the Dreamcast, where they're the pioneer, they get out the gate first, but then unfortunately phase out. Or they're going to be like the Xbox 360 is streaming, where they got the 1 year head start. They beat xCloud to the punch at their own game. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's still more questions. Exclusive games. We know they got Jade Raymond in their studio. How far along are these games? So that's what I'm in the middle with both of you guys. I'm willing to see. I want to see the tech. I think competition is good. I agree with Bella. But at the same time, there's still a lot of questions here before I just crown it as, okay, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to give it back to Bella as far as like, as far as now with the competition aspect,
I got to go ahead and take off though, you guys. I appreciate everyone coming on. I'll talk to you guys later.
No doubt.
Later.
No doubt. So again, you know what I'm saying? I gotta see. I just want to talk about with Bella as far as now the competition aspect with Microsoft, and you know, do you think this is good in general for Microsoft that they're in this space? Does this force Microsoft's hands to kind of step up a little bit?
I don't think it's going to force them to do anything really. I mean, they're a powerhouse within their own industry. They'll always do what they want to do. And I don't think anyone but Sony is going to ever do anything that's going to force them to have to change what they're doing, the service that they're providing. The thing I would be interested to hear, particularly now after seeing just how hot all of this got King's blood, what about this service is going to change your life so significantly that it gets you so upset?
Woo! Well, okay. It really, I'm purchasing it.
He's gonna be first in line right with me. He's gonna be there right with me.
Let me give you full disclosure, Bella. I'm fighting for the little guy. I don't represent the little guy.
Okay,
all right. I want y'all to understand that part. I don't represent you guys that's sitting there talking about no. I don't represent you. I represent the leaders. All right. So this is targeted to me. If they said $59 a month and every new game that came out was playable off the rip, guess who's paying $59? Guess who's not? It's not going to bother me. I got fiber optics, so none of that stuff that you're talking about is actually going to bother me. This is not for me. My fight is for you guys, where they showed you the banana in the tailpipe. Now, what I'm talking about when I get all anti and all upset is I see fraudery. And I'm going to call it out. If Sony does it, if Microsoft does it, I told you, Microsoft showed you their Google X joint and the X Cloud, and that wasn't real to me. I don't care what you said. It wasn't real. It was a controlled situation, and I don't believe that was real. Other people saying it is. Oh, well. Well, so y'all going to say, oh, King, you calling out Google. No, I call out Microsoft, and I call out Sony, and I call out Nintendo daily. All right, I employ them. They work for me. I purchase stuff, and if any one of those dudes do not produce in a fashion that I want them to produce, and guess who's fired? And I got a new hire coming in. I'm hiring Google to see what y'all talking about. Now, I don't understand how people are going to get in an uproar. And you said this is not the area where you're going to show games. Right. They said one studio. If Microsoft would have stepped up and said, we got one studio, these dudes would have blew the internet up. If Microsoft steps up there with no games, they blow the internet up. If Microsoft steps up there with no price, they blow the internet up. My thing is keep that same damn energy, you frauds.
Well, yeah, shout out to Rand. He kind of said the same thing recently because he said when Microsoft kind of jumped out the gate first with the DRM and basically they're not giving any option, right? What Google is, and it was Microsoft, even though it was what 6 years ago, whatever it was, you know what I'm saying, that they got kind of crucified for that. So I mean, was it a thing that you just feel Microsoft was just so ahead and it's not the same energy?
This is what I'm saying. When Microsoft stepped on stage and they was talking TV crap, right? And you guys got all your panties tore up and ripped up into a bunch, right? Remember when they said your Xbox was going to be on all the time? Your Xbox is on all the time now. So, at what point in time, you know what? If y'all would have sat there and allowed them to push y'all in the direction that we were going in anyway, we had already had Google Stadia already. But now they had to revise things to smooth it over for you guys to stroke your little egos to get you nice and ready to go into the new millennium. But then here come Google and y'all just ready. Y'all, you know what it is y'all just don't like certain things. And if somebody else says it, y'all more adapt to go that way. I just told you they showed you absolutely nothing. Keep the same damn energy that you had over there, over here. So if they show you some games and they show you price and they show you stuff like that, then you champion it. Stop championing something and they didn't show you anything. But a damn white controller that's a mishmash of an Xbox and a PlayStation controller.
But my focus now, it isn't so much the games. I'm focusing on the impact it's going to have on gaming as a whole. I'm looking at the tech. The tech is what to me is what's most disruptive, right? Gaming, the games are going to be there or not there, whatever. But the fact that they're leaning so heavily onto it, there's no way it's not the initiation of a paradigm shift.
Look,
There's no way it's not.
Let me jump in too.
And that's the thing. Like,
that's all.
It's the fact that the tech is definitely moving in that direction, and there's no stopping that.
Listen, shout out to Raymond Morrell with the $2 super chat. I want to make one thing clear too. Is like, look, let's be clear. Like, we don't know for a fact if this is going to work, right? Until we get it in our hands, until there's real life testing, until everyone with every different internet situation and data cap and all that gets it in their hand, then we can judge. We can't judge. So I'm in the middle. My thing is, let's just see what happens when we get in time with Bella in that respect. But Fonz, I got to come at you because I see you going hard in the chat. No one's championing anything. My thing is, I'm not quick to dismiss something until I try it. Like, a lot of people I'm seeing, it's like, oh, it's definitely not going to work. It's definitely. Definitely. I'm not on that type of time. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, let's get it in our hands. Let's see it. Let's see what realistically, how they deal with people with data caps, with all these problems, because there are a ton of questions. And I feel you, Fonz, in the sense that, there's still a lot of issues that we don't know how they're going to tackle. I will say this in reference to Microsoft is that what King is saying is true in this respect. And the fact that Microsoft was so ahead, right, of the game in terms of the whole DRM and all that stuff. And then look, eventually we got there. The thing I noticed now, if you look at xCloud, it seems that they're taking the opposite approach, right? Now, 2019, it's kind of like we're going to bring in the beta trial first, right? We're going to get people accustomed to xCloud and stuff like that. We saw Phil's statement in reference to Stadia, and he was kind of saying that, look, it gave him validation for his streaming future and his vision. PlayStation, in their credit, they were ahead. They were trying this earlier, obviously less tech, and I'll get into that later. You know what I'm saying? So what King is saying is true. Like, the industry is going this way. And again, option. Only thing is Stadia is not giving that option. Stadia is saying, yo, this is what it is.
Right.
So we got to see. That's all I'm saying. I'll let Madz.
I want to say one thing. Y'all guys are not privy to our chat that we have in the background.
Right.
So this day, these dudes was ripping me a new one. Okay? I want y'all to understand this. I want y'all to know something, because I'm calling these dudes on the carpet for this. They was ripping me a new one. They was going at Phil Dominus, not no Phil Minimus, not no Phil Illuminous. The hell with that light, Mr. Light Bright. The hell with fake Phil, Scroll Phil, right? And I told them, I said, rap battle rules, straight up off the rip. Of my belief of my dude.
You did.
All right. Rap battle rules. My boy got 24 hours to respond to this. And let me tell you something. My boy responded with buckshot straight for the face. Let me tell you that. He showed you what the next day what's coming out on Game Pass. And then he
dropped the freestyle.
He lined the troops up.
You want me to spit the bars?
Spit them bars, please.
Right, so Phil jumped in the booth. He saw the Stadia announcement. He said he just wrapped up. He said, today we saw a big tech competitor enter the game market and frame the ingredients between content, community, and cloud. He said it was no big surprises. You know what I'm saying? He had his chest out. He's like, kind of already knew, you know what I'm saying? But he said, I want to get back to us. He said, there's really good work to get us into position that we're poised to compete for 2 billion gamers across the planet. Google went big today, and we have a couple of months until E3 until we get big. So he says we have to stay agile, continue to build with our customer at the center. We have the content, community, cloud, and strategy. And as I've been saying for a while, it's all about execution. This is even more true today. Energizing times. Lord Phil, King David's only begotten savior.
Now, let me tell you this in layman terms. What Phil said. All right. So Phil, in layman terms, said just like this. He said, "Yeah, they got guns. I know y'all see that, but we got guns too. Every last one of you guys will be able to bust back at E3. Don't you worry about those dudes. What we saw was absolutely nothing." And we will destroy them come June.
Why was it nothing?
That's what I heard when I heard my man Phil. So shout out to 24-hour Phil. His new name is 24-hour Phil.
He got the booth. He got the booth quick. Shout out to Raymond Morrell. He said, he said, Don DeMarco.
Yeah, the drop
either. Phil. That's, and you know what? As a respect, you know what he did? And we're gonna when we get to my time, I'm gonna show you what he did. What a boss does. What a boss does when he sees his side dude, something go wrong with him. I'm gonna show you what a boss does. Y'all gonna respect Phil when I'm finished.
No doubt. Listen, we'll finish
this. The problem with this service is that it's just the gaming community does it every time. You're complaining about your food before it's even hit the table. Going into a restaurant, you have a look at the menu, and you're complaining about the menu. before the shepherds even had a chance to cook the meal and put it in front of you.
There you go. There you go. I just don't see, like, I don't see why people just can't be more optimistic from the rip. Everybody just negative from the jump. And it's like,
why.
Go ahead, Madz.
Sorry. Say,
No,
go on.
No, please enlighten us, please. I want to know.
I'll tell you why. Because, like, shortly after the whole presentation, I was like, I actually sent a tweet and we're like, basically asking, so what the hell the fanboys are going to fight for if there's not going to be any plastic anymore? Because that's what it's all about. Like, it's always been about, like, oh, this is my black box and it's the best. No, this is my black box and this is the best. And the problem is that well, with streaming, it's like it's everybody's box, right? And so like it's not even a box, right? To be honest, today I made an Google Stadia unboxing video, right? Literally, like I've put my all my mobile devices and everything. I just unpacked them. Like, you want to play on that? You want to play that? No problem, right? I mean, that's honestly. And so, I mean, some people didn't catch the joke, unfortunately. But I mean, the thing is, like, why I don't think that it actually bothers me much, because, like, it's just a streaming device. You don't have to buy any hardware to actually use it. And, like, even if they price it at like $15, $20, $25, I mean, I will go and check it out. If it works and if it has any interesting games, I'll just use it. If they will keep pushing more content, I may use it more, right? But, like, from my perspective, I'm more like a local hardware guy, right? And that's not going to change for me anytime soon. And that's why I kind of like I prefer, like, Sony and Microsoft approach to it. Like, that's an option, right? But at the end of the day, I like, Google Stadia is just like an option to me, right? And I mean, it may be a threat to, like, Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo at some point in the future, not like day one, because I don't see that happening. It will take time for some people to actually change their kind of, like, I don't know, gaming habits, if I can call it. But, like, Google Stadia and other streaming services may not be necessarily for us. Right. Dudes that kind of got used to, like, playing on a local hardware and, like, talking about graphics and image quality and the best quality pixels, right? Because that's what we're going to be talking about when streaming these games. Because let's face it, everything is compressed. And last word on the whole data caps and stuff.
Yeah, go for it.
A lot of people talk about, I mean, I'm not sure if my internet is good, but I actually watched an interesting video of a guy who actually took part in the beta test, and he said that he's got like 100 megabits up and down, like, internet and stuff, right? And he was basically getting the same, just like he he was basically getting all kinds of different results. Like, sometimes it was 720p, sometimes it was 30 and stuff. And when the actual stream actually was downgraded, the quality of stream was downgraded. He immediately tested his connection, his internet speeds. Everything was fine on his end. So that tells me that there may be also some hiccups on the Google servers side. So it may not be only your internet dependent, but also Google.
Absolutely. They were specific about that too. They said that your connection to their servers is direct. Meaning that it's never actually on the open internet. It is their server direct to you.
Listen.
It's weird.
It sounds nice, but what they actually telling you is that because internet is basically a bunch of routers, right? And different data centers. So the only thing what they actually saying is that, okay, so you will have the connection is going to be basically from, like, as they said, direct, but it's still going to be going over the same things, but but the actual
route is different.
Data is not going to be going over these 20 routers, but it will just basically be direct. Yeah. So, like, just like VPN, something like that, basically.
Listen, I just want to say one last point, and then we move on. Is that in reference to the whole competition aspect, and listen, at the end of the day, as the hardcore we are, right? This may not be for us. Like, at the end of the day, we're used to, you know, that ultimate response, you know, without any type of latency, even if, like you said, they're able to nail this, knock this thing out the park. You know what I'm saying? But we have to be cognizant. I want to shout out Brap is in the chat, Forte, and those guys at Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. They had a great podcast talking about it in the sense that we got to be cognizant that this may not be for us, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? In this mobile generation and this Fortnite generation, and like you said, Madz, you know, the kids are just jumping on, playing on their tablet. They don't touch consoles. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Again, if this thing is successful, it's a big if. We have to see, you know what I'm saying? But if that ease of use, no downloads, and people can just jump on a browser or jump on a phone or whatever, this may appeal to some, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I still think in reference to Microsoft, I like the fact that for us as a gamer, it's an option. And they still got the Game Pass advantage, you know what I'm saying? Whereas Google's all or nothing approach might backfire. So I want to see what Microsoft does with that. We know we got the public beta. I like what Phil said in reference to it. This is definitely coming. But again, for those of you who do not like this future, bro, do not buy it. Support your hardware consoles, and that's it, and you're fine. But to sit there,
don't worry about what everybody else is doing.
You.
Which is what the gaming community always does. They're always more concerned with what everybody else is doing versus what they're doing.
Yeah, shout out to Fonz with the $2 super chat. Hardcore doesn't dictate the market. You're right. Hardcore doesn't dictate the market, and casuals do. But at the end of the day, Microsoft right now is providing you an option. Stadia is not. If the hardcore does not like the fact that they don't have that option, don't buy Stadia. Vote with your wallet. End of case. That's it. And if they will, that's it. Yes,
I think as gamers, what we should focus on with all of these people coming out, all of these companies coming out with streaming services is honestly, what does it mean for the future of gaming in terms of archiving? What does it mean if Google up and leaves and it's not successful or not successful in their eyes and they walk away? Everything that they brought to the table, what state do they leave gaming in at that point, right? The archiving thing is a big thing because as I think gaming in general has been very bad about preserving its history. What do you do with a platform that's online only? What happens then? Once that goes offline, those games are gone. And if they do at some point have a significant exclusive portfolio, what happens to those games? That's the stuff that you need to me is more worrisome. I like Cog said, everything else is just an option, and be thankful that we do have options.
Absolutely. Look, let's get into it. We could go all day. Let's get to the second part, which is King's part, which is the effect, right? So, King, I know you wanted to touch on that in reference to some news, in reference to stocks. Did you want to get into that, King?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because as soon as I saw it pop up, like the day after, Sony and Nintendo stocks took a tumble, Microsoft stocks stayed the same. And my question to the panel is, what did they think about that? If they cared at all about that situation, is it a cause and effect? Is it a knee-jerk reaction to what they saw? Or is it impending doom towards those two companies because their strategy is lacking going towards the future?
Let's start with Bella. Bella, what do you feel like? Obviously, the news came out that little bit of stock droppage when the Stadia news came announced. It looked like it affected short term, actually Nintendo and Sony. So yeah, it looks like they dropped as much as 4.6%, and Sony declined 4.5% on Wednesday when both the news was dropped. So do you look into this? Do you think this is anything of concern as far as their streaming future? Or what do you take from it?
Well, my stance on this is I don't have shares in either of those companies, so it does not affect me.
Fair enough. Lord Madz, any credence, any correlations, do you think, with Nintendo and Sony stocks dropping post Stadia announcement?
I mean, not really. I mean, like I remember when these rumors about Take-Two being bought by Sony, what these rumors did. I mean, these stocks went up like 4% or something. I mean, like I wouldn't really pay too much attention to that because like it just like, you know, market is dictated by like emotions and that kind of stuff, right? Not necessarily the actual, you know, market. I don't know. I'm not really a kind of like a stock kind of guy, so but it doesn't bother me at all.
Listen, I'll jump in. I'm gonna attack this from a different perspective, King. It's just that look, stocks fall falling, fluctuating after announcement. To me, it's funny, it's interesting, but I don't get too carried away. Nintendo, they beat to their own drum. I could see them at some point, linking up, partnering up with Microsoft, if the rumors are to be believed, with Game Pass. Sony, on the other hand, is in a different position. And, they have remote play, from the canceled Vita days, and expanded it to PC, Mac, and iOS now, and which acts as a beam to your PS4. But and they also have PS Now, which is their official streaming cloud service, which they purchased from Gaikai. But I gotta be clear on some things I've been seeing on social media that are not true. And this is in regards to people saying PS Now's exact same thing as xCloud or Stadia. That is not true. First of all, Sony currently does not have the data centers nor the cloud infrastructure like the big players like Microsoft, Azure, Google, Amazon, and their streaming platform. PS Now's max resolution is 720p across the board, and they only have a few PlayStation 4 games, and it's primarily an older catalog of PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2 games. From a technical standpoint, it's not in the same league as Project Stream was doing last year with 1080-60, you know what I'm saying? And now what they're going to propose with the 4K 60 HDR. And then obviously you have Game Pass, you have xCloud with the Game Pass library, exclusives, day and date, backward compatibility, enhancements and all that. So for gamers to say, streaming is not for them, you know what I'm saying? I get it, but let's stop grouping all streaming services together like it's the same thing. There's a reason why there was a minimal stock drop. You know what I'm saying? Sony has been dominant as far as the console current generation, but we're not going to act like their streaming future is super bright unless we hear some type of announcement. So that's all I'm saying. So again, not saying doom and gloom for Sony. All I'm saying is we just got to be clear as it stands right now until they announce some type of plan. They are behind in that aspect. That's all I want to say.
I mean, the market's always going to continue to fluctuate. That's it. One company is always going to be ahead of the other. There's always going to be a leader in the market.
Absolutely. Lord King, you're finishing up your topic?
Okay. Well, also the next day, I noticed a couple of moves by both companies. Sony let it be known that a couple of their exclusive games was going to launch on PC. That automatically elevated their stock back up to the original falling point. And then Nintendo announced Cuphead. And they also gave a nod to Microsoft. So I believe that the Cuphead thing was, Phil saying, go ahead, put that up there so, the stocks can go back up. Because when you're in a partnership with somebody, you want to make sure that they're at their best, right? So they saw Nintendo take a little dip. Announced this. They probably was going to announce it like closer to E3 to get a better impact for E3. But being that, everybody was in an uproar over the stadium stuff, they decided to allow that to come out the next day, and then Nintendo stocks went back up. Right. But also they announced, which was huge to me, that Xbox Live functionalities will be inside of Cuphead. All right, so they're laying the groundwork for y'all to watch this partnership. Remember, I told you, Google is a big thing. Amazon is a huge thing. And Amazon is already in that space. If you didn't know, like y'all are looking at this space like this space is only occupied and Google is stepping into the space. No, Amazon has been in this space. My kids play on Fire Stick right now. All right, but it has actual hardware. Same thing with Google. Google has that actually Chrome thing. But those two companies are a direct detriment. And the reason why I said a direct detriment to all of us who want that hardware on hand, that, the elite power hardware, when we're looking for the fidelity and stuff like that, they are trying to eliminate that. Right. And once that is eliminated and there's no barriers in between that, the last bastion is these companies we have now, which is Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. And the only way that they're going to be able to beat these dudes back is, I believe, they're going to have to group together and start fighting as one. And I've noticed that next day, once the stocks took a dip, everybody got back, gathered themselves, and pushed forward. Did I think that it was a huge thing with the stock dipping? Yes, because it's foretelling that just off of announcement, they can take a dip. So when it actually is released, what is actually really going to happen to these stocks?
Right. No, I feel what you're saying. And like I said, I mean, Bella's making some good points in the chat as well. People need to accept that tech is changing, gaming is changing, the industry is continuing evolving. It will never remain the same. Change is constant. Stop fighting, accept the reality. I definitely hear your points, Bells. And look, this is going to be scary to some gamers. You know what I'm saying? And obviously the stocks, even though it was temporary, we don't know how long it's going to last, whatever. People have their feelings, their concerns with, certain companies. So we have to see, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we have to see. The gamers are going to dictate where these things go. And it also depends on how successful the service is. Belle, I'm going to let you.
It's so precious.
Mm-hmm. What'd you say, Belle?
Damn precious. Like, gamers are just so precious. They're so self-entitled.
You said it. I ain't say that. Look, I hear where you're coming from. Like, this is interesting times and possible paradigm shift. I'm going to start off with move on to the next topic with Addict's topic, which is Halo Master Chief Collection. Some news dropped, and I had to see.
Yeah, Mike.
It's still again? Jesus.
Yeah, not now. It clicked right here.
All right, I don't know what's going on with the mic today, but must be the connection. But yeah, so basically, it announced in 343 head Bonnie Ross confirmed no Master Chief Collection and Play Anywhere. So this was Addict's topic. He was very intense about this. What do we feel about no Play Anywhere for Master Chief Collection?
Oh, I can tell you exactly what I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Who cares? Master Chief Collection's been out for what, 25 years now? Like, it's been around for forever. We have played the Jesus out of it.
That's exactly what I said, Bella.
Like, we've got that many games to choose from. Why do we need to worry about a game that's been out, or a collection of games that has been out from the turn of time as far as gamers are concerned? Why are we worried about that?
Well, let me ask you this, Belle. Well, what about from the standpoint of, this was a service that they touted, right? As, remember, gamers were upset that Xbox exclusives were going to PC, right? That was a big thing. Like, it's taking my exclusives, man, and it's going over to PC. It's not exclusive day and day, or being whatever. So now, they announced the term became, what was the terms? Solve, it was something exclusive. They changed their terminology, but anyway.
Yeah, they changed it all.
Time exclusive.
Yeah, whatever exclusive. All right?
Time console exclusive.
Yeah, Windows 10 and whatever. Exclusive.
Window launch exclusive.
Exactly. So now that we got that, right? And then they announced the feature of Play Anywhere, which is, okay, if you purchase the Xbox version and you happen to have a PC, you could own it on PC, the Windows Store, for free. So what do you feel about that, Bells, in reference to people saying, hey, this is Microsoft backtracking on a service that they introduced, and this is, I'm trying to get my inner addict on. Like, this is messed up.
Nothing is absolute. We know as individuals in our own lives, you can say something one day and mean it with all your heart, and then a year later, life changes, life happens, things change, and so do your priorities. And you have to say, well, what was no longer is, and we're just going to have to evolve and adapt, and a little bit of change has to occur. Unfortunately, the word change is like, the devil to gamers. If you holy hell, it is ridiculous. If you want to change anything now and say, well, look, I know that we said this back then, but that was a few years ago, and a lot has happened since then. Technology has changed, the industry has evolved, and you want to do something different than what you said 5 years ago that made sense then but doesn't make sense now. It's like you've committed some murder. It is ridiculous. I understand that, yes, they said that this was going to be a thing, but that is no longer practical now. And frankly, if you haven't played the Master Chief Collection and you are concerned about it not being on Play Anywhere, that is all on you. All on you. It is free in the Game Pass right now. Go play the crap out of it and get it out of your system.
Fair enough. Lord Madz, Halo Master Chief Collection, not part of Play Anywhere. Your thoughts? Oh, Madz is muted.
I was muted.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't bother me that much, to be honest with you. I mean, I own it on Xbox and we'll be playing it on Xbox. 4K 60 frames 4K 60 frames per second. I got excited about the reach, So yeah, 4K 60 frames per second on Xbox One X. So I wonder what sort of PC you will need actually to play this game. So that's going to be also interesting. But I mean, it is a bit disappointing to see that even though they were kind of promoting Play Anywhere and stuff, and that kind of raised the question, what's going to happen, moving forward, because hey, if I mean, this is really an old game, right? So why don't you? I don't know. Maybe they just want to make more money off of the PC gamers. I don't know. That may be a thing as well. And they are, the fact that they are actually porting it to PC, and they hired like 2 different studios to do it, because 343 is not involved, like not directly. They are working on Halo Infinite. Although I think Halo Infinite is going to be a Play Anywhere, as last time I checked on their website. So it's kind of weird that it's not on Play Anywhere, but it is what it is. So
I feel you. It is what it is. No doubt. Lord King, are you chirping in the back?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, like the great philosopher Bruce Lee, you must be like water. Because if you pour water into a bowl, it becomes the bowl. So what I want you to understand is, they said, Microsoft and switch streams. No, actually, what you're seeing is a money grab. Let me show you, because y'all sat there and say, "Oh, he calling out Google. He's attacking Google." All right, check it out. I'm attacking Microsoft right now. This is a money grab. Y'all gonna see it, right? They're gonna switch hands on you. This is how they did it. They said, "Okay, yo, check it out. We're gonna put out the Halo, the Master Chief Collection over here." And y'all was like, "Yo, it's Play Anywhere, yeah, because if I got it over here, I'm good." No, you're not. You're gonna have to buy that. Said, damn. He said, and then you're not gonna get the full joint. We're gonna give you piecemeal. We're gonna piecemeal it to you. So you're gonna get this now, you're gonna get this at a later date, and you're gonna get this at a later date. Listen, I honestly believe by the time all of those games come out on PC with the scaling and all that stuff, and y'all, you know how y'all like to do, y'all like to, I want to max out all my settings. After you max out all your settings in your wallet and stuff like that, they're gonna take away that store and put Game Pass on. It's gonna be there anyway. So they're just getting this money first, getting this initial cash. For you fools that was talking all that mess that y'all ain't got Master Chief over here. Now Master Chief is here. Because if you have an Xbox and you got Game Pass, is already there. So there's no reason for you to be crying and yelling about it. Don't kick and scream. Just take it.
Shout out to Eric Jacks. He said Xbox gamers were mad when they introduced Play Anywhere, and now they mad they take it away.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
No pleasing them. There's no pleasing them.
LordSov, go ahead, sir.
Oh, come on, man. Just pay for it again if you want to. If you really want to play it on PC, just go ahead. I mean, I gotta get
an addict on. This is BS. This is BS, and I can't believe you guys are like this. Sell it out.
The game came out before Play Anywhere was even a thing. So, if that's the excuse they're going to use, let them use that excuse. But I mean,
but it's not built into the infrastructure.
Yeah, exactly. We can't port it. We just can't do it.
It's not there. I can't do it, Captain.
Whatever the reason is, what it is, honestly, they're looking at it as a brand new launch. They're kind of looking at the PC community as a different audience in a lot of ways.
Fresh meat.
Yeah, exactly. So they want to give it that new smell, that new feeling as much as possible, because at this point it is a 4-year-old game. So I'm not mad at them at all.
I'll jump in. I gotta be the voice of addict. Now look, I'm gonna be real. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they introduce new features that they intend to support and then they walk away from it. You know what I'm saying? But look, I get it. This is big business. This is Microsoft's biggest franchise, into a new market. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Steam, the whole bit. I am concerned with this recent buddy-buddy relationship with Steam. And now, like Madz said, what happens in the future with Play Anywhere going forward, right? It'll be interesting to see, all the new Xbox exclusives, will they be Play Anywhere anymore? Are they phasing that out? So
I think they're phasing that out, Cog. Honestly, I think the whole Microsoft store and all that stuff is going to get the bushes. I really believe so. I believe they're trying to push their Game Pass. I understand Game Pass is successful. They think that Microsoft Store is a failure. Right. That's why it hasn't been updated. That's why everybody's always complaining about the Microsoft Store. Why have the Microsoft Store when you have all Microsoft stuff in Game Pass? Why don't you just push that?
Is it interesting? Go ahead, Madz.
Yeah, I want to say something very controversial.
Let's go, Madz.
Because I was thinking recently about the whole Play Anywhere, and have you heard about Windows Core?
Yes.
So the whole initiative of like running 32-bit, Windows 32 applications on Windows 10, right, and stuff. And that got me thinking because, like, was it like 2 or 3 weeks ago when Microsoft announced that they will be allowing, or should I say that was really a leak, or should I say a rumor? Brad Sams was talking about it, that they will be allowing native Xbox games on PC. Okay, and I hear a lot of Xbox guys very angry about the fact that they have to pay for Xbox Live, and PC guys, they don't have to. What if I were to tell you that if maybe it's a tricky way of Microsoft making PC gamers to pay for those games? I mean, because if they will allow these Xbox games natively on PC, I mean, so that's basically an emulation. What if they would just basically put it with all the system and all the the whole ecosystem would be kind of like emulated, meaning if you are planning to play those Xbox games on PC, you will have to pay for Xbox Live to play multiplayer.
I don't know if the PC community gonna go for that though. I mean, I can see Game Pass. I'm with you on Game Pass, but I mean, the PC, that open market, and they've been so conditioned to not pay for online. It's like, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible that they may not be thinking about it or attempt it, but there will be pushback.
To me, the Microsoft Store and Microsoft Games seems like a tale of two Xboxes. It seems like, it's the Microsoft PC side, and then it's the Microsoft gaming side, right? And then you get some games from Microsoft in there, and they were trying to do the plan anywhere to merge the two. And I really didn't think it took off. I mean, I played some games on my PC, and I really didn't think it was as successful as it can be. And then once you start breaking stuff down and streamlining things, and once you got that service, and I think they're keying in on this service because I honestly believe Game Pass is going to be their vehicle in the future where you're going to add different things to it, because you can take something away, right? You can take away certain things like Xbox Live subscription, right? But then once you merge the Game Pass and Xbox Cloud together into one unit, then you can push that forward and start charging a different service for it with the same functionalities of Xbox Live, because it gets kind of redundant now at this point where you have Xbox Live games of gold for the month, and then you have Game Pass games that come out. It's like it's too much stuff is being given out here.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see this new approach, and again, I think this news with Play Anywhere is very key. We got to monitor it, right? We got to see what's going to happen.
So, I think all of that stuff, apart from what King said, I think also I think Game Pass gets a name change. I think when they consolidate all of that under the Game Pass banner, I think it just becomes Xbox Pass or something like that. I think Game Pass, the name goes, and they're gonna identify the entire Xbox suite of services under that one banner.
Yeah, shout out to Fonzarelli. He said he thinks it'd be like a Game Pass games with gold kind of thing. So we shall see. Last topic, and we're gonna talk about the PlayStation 5 and some ray tracing news. Shout out to Lord Madz. We got him in the building. Fantastic article on the premier website, lordsofgaming.net.
Shout out.
That. Go get that. I'll put
the only one to go for the latest news, right?
That's right. Tell them about it. Right. We got Madz over there. You better get over there.
Man, Madz wrote a fantastic article, and talking about, like I said, Sony hiring graphical engineers with ray tracing experience. So, Lord Madz, I want to give it to you, man. Like, why should we be excited about this? Didn't we think that ray tracing it was so great, resource heavy that it wouldn't be practical for the next gen? Talk to us.
Okay, well, basically, it's a kind of interesting because obviously when Nvidia presented the whole ray tracing thing, I mean, they were saying that the only way you can actually, utilize ray tracing is to, buy one of their cards, right, RTX, which are super expensive, obviously, and stuff. and I get it because they've got some interesting tech inside. But it looks like that's not really the case. I mean, like Nvidia already changed their stance on everything, and they basically said that you don't really need our latest graphics cards to utilize ray tracing. It may not be as fast on these cards, but still, developers will be able to take advantage of it. So, I mean, you may think, okay, so what? So, most likely it's going to be super slow on these cards, but there was a demo made by Crytek, and they were basically showing ray tracing running on Vega 56, right? So, I mean, pretty much the same sort of tech that Google Stadia is going to be utilizing, funny enough, right? Pretty much. So, looks like Google Stadia is going to be ray tracing capable as well. So that's another thing. And obviously, the demo is pretty impressive, even though it's not using all of the ray tracing kind of tech, because it's only using ray traced reflections. There was no shadows or anything like that. But it just goes to show that developers are kind of like getting a grasp of this new technology, and they are finding ways to make it run faster on like normal graphics cards. And also there's also two things that actually happened with regards to like PlayStation, really. One is obviously, I think that was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, actually 3 or 4 months ago, actually. Times go by very fast. Yeah. So they were basically presenting ray tracing in GT Sport, a special demo, and they were showing that at the very beginning of this year, during SIGGRAPH and stuff, and that was actually running. That was basically GT Sport with ray tracing. So I mean, we can only speculate that it probably run on PlayStation 5 or some sort of like similar hardware. Right. But just recently, there was actually a job post where Sony is actually right now looking for graphics engineers with ray tracing experience. So, I mean, all these events, like 4 or 5 events and stuff, like just goes to show me that even though we were like very doubtful about ray tracing being a thing in next gen, it may actually be a thing. And I guess this is going to be like this, new technology that will make a difference, because I mean, if it's used right, it really looks fantastic, honestly. So yeah. I mean, go and check my article on the
link in the description, baby. LordsOfGaming.net.
Yeah, exactly.
Check it out, man. Fantastic. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that I just want to double down, like, with a question in reference to it. Like, do you think, again, if this technology is able to be implemented in the next generation of consoles, like, do you think this is a game changer, almost to the effect of like an HDR, so to speak?
Yeah, potentially, because here's the thing: ray tracing is very, very, very new, and like we talking about like hardware a lot, but the thing people need to realize that it's also about like APIs and the software and drivers, right? And like look at what's going on consoles. When these developers get a grasp of their new hardware and they know all the tricks and stuff, they can really deliver great experiences with the great graphics on consoles, because they know how to optimize these game engines for the hardware. So same thing will happen with ray tracing. So it's basically like this technology is still in its infancy, but I think it will be a thing next gen in some form of but yeah, I mean, looks like next gen consoles will be ray tracing capable, and I think that's a good thing.
Absolutely. Let's get Bells in. Bells, are you back, Lady Bella?
I am.
Does PlayStation does ray tracing excite you for the next generation of consoles?
Oh, look, frankly, I think that it's just a thing that should be the norm moving forward. Obviously, it's not new technology in the sense that Pixar have been using it in their movies for a while now. Nvidia are all over it. It's in graphics cards. It's not a thing that is new. It's being used across the board already, and should be something that is being used in a next gen. Like, this is current gen technology, and we're talking about next gen consoles. Oh, yes, it should be using ray tracing. Why don't we have this already? It's not that complicated. Yeah, I understand that it's going to take a lot of power But these consoles, I mean, you ask any elitist about whether new consoles can handle ray tracing, and absolutely they can. You know, there's absolutely no reason that this shouldn't be a thing, and it's not really all that complicated. So, yeah, ray tracing. Yes, it's exciting to hear that they're finally using current gen technology and new gen consoles.
Wow. Talk that talk, Bells. I hear you. I hear you. Lord Sov, ray tracing. How excited are you?
I mean, I'm excited because I mean, I myself said I speculated that because Nvidia had come out and said that this was sort of their thing, and then AMD came out and said that they weren't necessarily looking down that road, that because AMD are the ones handling console tech. I said, well, maybe we're not even going to see anything remotely resembling ray tracing or their own version of ray tracing in next gen consoles. And then, of course, Nvidia comes down and is like, no, actually, you can do it with current gen stuff. So, I mean, it's just it's interesting, and I'm glad that it's going to be a thing. And I agree with Madz. The fact that it's going to be it should be part of next gen consoles is great. I think once again, though, it brings the baseline down a little bit, right? If all of us were expecting, at least 4K 60 everything, right? I guess the expectation, that's what people want. You'll see that. But at some point, I'm sure they'll give you that toggle option where it's like, okay, but if you want real time ray tracing, you might get 900p, 30 frames per second. But those shadows are gonna be banging though.
Back to the bushes.
So
it's less about what the console can handle and more about what your TV can handle very soon.
Yeah, that is true too. That is true too. So honestly, yeah, I'm excited about it. I don't know if these first iterations of these consoles are going to be that, or if or if we're going to see a mid-cycle refresh that sort of brings that to the forefront. So I don't know.
Fair enough. Lord King, the premium gamer. Does ray tracing excite you?
It excited the hell out of me enough to get ready to go buy a new video card. I can tell you that.
Don't do it.
No. You know what it is. You know how that PC thing goes. You got to stay up with the time. So regardless to what, once I signed on for what I'm going to do. I can sell my cards. They're going to go in for the new cards. But I saw the Star Wars demo of ray tracing, right? Before I even got to the Battlefield stuff of a real-time game using ray tracing, I saw the Star Wars demo. And I encourage everybody to go check that Star Wars demo out. Just put out Star Wars demo ray tracing. It looked beautiful. It looked like the movie. And I was like, wow, that's great. That would be fantastic if they could actually do that in the game. Because NVIDIA likes to show you stuff that's never coming out. Super tech demos. And then I saw the Battlefield 5, where it toggled on and off. And then I saw the Metro Exodus, where it toggled on and off. And I said, damn, that is something that I definitely need. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and you want it. Yeah. Right. And just like Cognito said, as powerful as these new systems will be, that toggle switch, once you put ray tracing on, is going to drop your frames down, your resolution back to the bushes, and we're going to be right back to that 30 frames per second crap like we at now. So it's going to be an option. I hope these the new systems utilize it. We know Nintendo will not be utilizing this function. So for all you Nintendo fans, 5 generations from now, y'all gonna get that new technology called ray tracing.
Oh my god! I knew this Switch slander had to happen.
Boom! That just happened to you.
Look, man, I agree with most of the lords here on the panel. It's exciting if both Sony and Microsoft adopt it. I wonder if it's going to be like the new HDR of the next gen. Curious to see, from a developer standpoint, who actually adopts it. Like King said, we know the resources are intense, but we must assume, like Madz is saying, that these new next generation of consoles are going to have the beef, the power to be able to handle it. So that's all I got on it. Anybody got anything left on ray tracing, Lord Madz? You good to go? Madz is good to go.
Yeah, I'm good to go. Yeah.
All right, man, let's get this poll. Let's get out of here. All right. New ILP poll this week with the recent reveal of the Stadia platform and its intended release in 2019. Who do you think has the most to lose with Google's aggressive approach with game streaming? The choices are A, Xbox. Stadia's 1 year head start already beats xCloud at its own game. B, Nintendo. Switch better partner up with xCloud ASAP. C, Sony, PS Now has to improve or get left behind. Or D, I don't care. Y'all don't want that smoke with that Walmart streaming service.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Google, when it fails and it ruins a reputation.
Oh, yeah, that could be E. That is the question. Those are the choices. Please rock the ILP vote when it goes up on Twitter tomorrow. Lady Bella and Lord Madz, thank you for coming through the realm. An absolute pleasure. Where can the fine people find you? Let's start with Lady Bella. Where can the fine people find you? What you got going on?
Oh, they can find me at the sterilizer, really. That's pretty much where I live my life right now. Just at the bottle sterilizer. Yeah, the washing machine. I spend a lot of time around the washing machine. I have a 4-week-old baby. So, yeah, anywhere between making bottles and washing things with spew on them is where you will find me.
Absolute pleasure to have you. It's been so long. I know our schedules are tough sometimes, and it's really good to just see you talking games, and even if it's just a short period of time. I
do love the Lords, and you know we've been friends for a very, very long time, and it's no skin off my nose really to get out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning to accommodate you gentlemen. So here I am.
Thank you so much. We know you put the extra effort in to make this, so we want to acknowledge that. So thank you again. But you know you will be back. Lord Madz, Poland's finest. What's going on, brother? Where can the fine people find you? What you got cooking up, man?
Well, you know, dropping some videos every day, you know, usual stuff. So thanks a lot for having me again on the show. I love the podcast and stuff. Obviously, check our articles on Lords of Gaming. You know, very interesting bunch of guys writing some articles. You know, very, very good stuff. And you can find me on YouTube, Madz Gaming, or Twitter, Madz Gaming PL. And let's have some good discussions.
Absolutely, man. Absolute pleasure. This guy has some of the best videos in the game, some of the best technical articles, again, on lordsofgaming.net. Please check him out, man. He's doing a fantastic job for us, and we're very honored to have him. Lord Addict had to go. He is at work, so salute my brother. Lord Sov, where can the fine people find you? What you got going on?
Yeah, first off, thanks to Bella and thanks to Madz for coming through. Appreciate it, guys. I know it's not easy. It's not easy to get up and be ready. It was. The time difference is not fun. So thank you guys for coming through. You guys can catch me LordSovILP on Twitter and BX Sovereign on PSN and Xbox Live. And of course, for all your gaming news, all your gaming related stuff, go to lordsofgaming.net. And of course, like I said at the top of the show, to reiterate, guys, pay attention to your family, pay attention to your friends. Just listen to them. Just listen to them, watch them, make sure they're all right. You know, and
absolutely
at all times, and just talk to them. Just whiskey. Love you, man.
You forget to focus on other people. You focus on yourself so much, and you focus on your games and your consoles so much that you forget that other people are going through shit.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's not just about what you're going through. Sometimes it's about what other people are going through. And let me tell you, I think probably even being on here today, you've seen that my perspective from, say, a year and a half ago when I was on the podcast has completely changed. I'm less about worrying what will and won't happen, and more worried about let things happen and see how they unfold. You know, so many times we see people going through things and we just don't even acknowledge it because we're so focused on ourselves. It's time to not be focused on ourselves. Focus on everybody else as well, because you're no one without someone else.
Absolutely. You see, couldn't have said it better.
It's the mommy effect. The mommy effect.
You know, it's amazing how it does change you. You know, I mean, I nearly didn't make it out of the hospital with her, and that in itself is a massive perspective change.
Absolutely. Lord King, the premium gamer, fantastic in the realm today. Where can the fine people find you? What you got going on?
First and foremost, I would like to thank Lady Bella for showing up 3 o'clock in the morning. My hat is off to you, especially I know you're not getting any sleep with a brand new baby. I have been there, I have done that, and I am done with that. So God bless you, and thank you for showing up. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, and you are most welcome.
My man Madz, the Jay-Z of Poland. When I saw you pop up, me and him was on Twitter and giving that smoke out this week. Piggybacking off of each other tweets. Thank you for showing up. It's always a pleasure, having the untouchable Madz himself.
Yes, sir.
On the show. I think you can run with that. The untouchable Madz. That's fantastic.
I remember that.
But okay.
I like it.
Yeah, I love it too. I'm telling you, that's your name, the untouchable Madz. Okay, so statues, King of Statues this week. We're going to PAX this week, people. PAX. So this year, this PAX is going to be even more lit than last year because we have some new challenges. What? Sony's going to be there. Microsoft's going to be there. Nintendo.
Soldier Boy voice.
Yes, it's going to be there. It's going to be crazy. But I'm going to have King of Statues up. In honor of Whiskey, it's going to be a special one. I'm going to really dig deep in this one. It's going to be my first versus statue. Y'all trust me, you will want to see these statues. One is the most requested statue in my stack that people seen. They see it by passing, but I've never did a deep dive into it. And it's the next one nobody's seen. I've only seen one person post it on the web. So this is definitely that joint, because I keep the bullets in the chamber just in case people want to act up. So you're going to see this one. This one is definitely off the charts, and we're going to put them head to head. I'm going to put up a poll this week. Like I told you, it's constantly evolving. It's constantly changing. And I'm trying to give you the best content that I can give you. So go to lordsgaming.net, and you can definitely see KOS up there. You can also see it on our YouTube channel. Go to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Listen, on Twitter, I do 3 promo videos that are not seen with any videos. Those videos are separate encapsulations of that stuff, that the statues that you can see. All right. So when
you don't hear that word off.
So when you get a chance to check them out, they're tailor-made for you. Just you want that short little burst, you want that little snack bite, just jump into that snack bite and just watch it real quick. All right, it's definitely for you. So listen, I just want y'all to understand. Reach out to somebody. If you haven't heard from somebody, reach out. Go through your phone right now. You haven't heard from a friend in a minute, go through your phone. Just reach out. Say hello. Say, brother or sister, you've been on my mind. Whatever. Just say hello.
Facts.
It's unfortunate that it takes something like that to remind us to do that. But if anything good comes out of something bad like that, it would be that it does remind us all to do that and reach out.
Absolutely. Again, thanks everyone for coming through. You already know lordsofgaming.net, ILP, all the good stuff. The audio will be up. Our brother Lord Kaibatsu will get the links in the description, all that good stuff. And of course, support the Lords of Gaming on the websites. You already know the show piece is King of Statues with King, and that will be up on Wednesdays at 7 in the morning. Of course, the Last Word with Ebontis. That's our looter shooter, Destiny, Division, Anthem, all that good stuff. We had our good brother Josh Redding from lordsofgaming.net. And also my boy Slow Mo Blacks Backslap from Brat Podcast, as well as the Scumcast. And it was a fantastic discussion. Please support the Lords. And just want to reiterate what everything is said. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, it's been such a tough day for us. But just to, one, continue to do the show because that's what Whiskey would have wanted. And also just to be able to talk and laugh with you guys is therapeutic. And like Bella said, look, we all go through stuff. Stuff in our community is real, man. Depression is real. A lot of things are real. Check up on your brothers and sisters. Check on your gamers and brothers and sisters, because at the end of the day, man, life is too short. And this is just video games. We love this thing. This is a passion. We're going to continue to do this. I miss you, Whiskey. Love you. Condolences to you and your family. And we're going to continue to honor you, brother. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. Peace.
This has been another